Welcome back to the video. In today's video, we have Halloween Havoc 2024 results. We are a little bit late on posting this, but however, still want to get the video out for you guys because it still was a pretty solid show. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, not really my favorite pay-per-view from NXT. On paper, it seemed pretty good. But, we'll get more into it. But some of the matches, just didn't really hit all the way for me.
Yeah, and let's start off with the first match. We start off with Tony D'Angelo defending his North American champion against Obafemi in the rematch and a TLC match. And Tony D'Angelo does come out on top. How'd you feel about this one?
So this one, it was a pretty good match. Wasn't what I was expecting as far as who would win. I kind of did think Oba would, get the win back. There has been rumors as of today that's saying that Obafemi may get called up soon. So that's maybe something to look forward to. But yeah, I was kind of expecting him to win, but Tony got the win. Makes him look strong for sure. However, one thing I guess I didn't like was those table, ladders, and chairs. But there's no real use of a ladder, no reason to use a ladder, there's no hanging belt or anything like that. So I guess that's like a small complaint if I had to have one. But overall, this was a really good match.
Yeah, this match was really good. I really enjoyed it. Going back to like how Obafemi might get caught up, I honestly kind of don't want him to because I feel like the men's side of things is kind of lacking top talent right now. And I think Obafemi is a perfect guy to go after Trick, take the belt off of him, who is super believable if he does go for it. And this match was really good. I think it helps Tony a lot here. It wasn't a fluke win, but yeah, I'm glad he got the big one here.
It was kind of still a fluke win in a way at the same time.
A little bit, but
all the family got involved still at the end and whatnot, and that would have been another complaint of mine. That I kind of wish we did get a clean win, but obviously if he is going to get called up, you want to look as strong as possible going into the main roster.
Yeah. Next up, we followed up with the women's tag match. Julie and Stephanie Vaquer defeating Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Surprises were on second, especially right after the Tony and Oba match. Kind of would have thought this would have been like the second to last match. However, second match in general. Really good. Really enjoyed it. What'd you think, though?
Yeah, this was my favorite match of the night by far. This felt like probably Julia's best match so far. She looked really good. Stephanie, she looked absolutely amazing. She's going to be one of the best women in maybe all of wrestling if we continue to see, this type of performance from her. And then Roxanne, obviously, one of my favorites, probably is my favorite in all of women wrestling, honestly. And Cora Jade, she was kind of like an odd one out, I will say. There was nothing really amazing from her during this match. However, she did give us a cool coffin drop spot from the top of the turnbuckle to the outside of the ring, and then we got a swanton bomb, I guess, on the inside of the ring. So she had a couple of cool spots to kind of get the crowd going and whatnot, but not a whole lot from her.
Yeah, this is really just a real good showcase for Julie and Stephanie. I really like their chemistry. I think they worked very well together. I'm glad they got the win because, this only has big implications for whoever is next in line for that World Championship shot. Stephanie is, I think, showing that she is probably going to be the one to do it. We have a big thing on NXT this past week, or on today, which was really interesting to see where they might go with this. And hopefully we get that triple threat somewhat soon because we're really excited for that. And because Roxanne was able to keep up with Stephanie very well, which is really good to see.
Yeah, Stephanie, she just has some very unique moves that suit her. Like the move where she puts their head between her legs and kind of slams it onto the mat over and over again. I absolutely love that move because it's something that looks devastating, but at the same time, you see how it's super safe at the same time. And then obviously I don't even know what to call, like a corkscrew backflip that she did. It looked amazing. But yeah, she's just really good overall.
Yeah, next up we followed up with the Ridge Holland and Andre Chase ambulance match where Ridge Holland did get the win here. A bit surprising. Definitely thought Andre Chase was going to win. What would you think?
Yeah, I don't really see the point in giving Ridge Holland the win. I don't really think it helps him a whole lot, and I don't really think it definitely doesn't help Andre Chase at all. Chase, you already really didn't like them, so I don't really have a reason to like Andre Chase. But obviously the thought going into it was, oh, the baby face is gonna kind of fight through all this and he's gonna get the big win at the pay-per-view. But we didn't get that. We got Ridge, which is, I guess you could kind of say it was a swerve in a way, but it's just kind of like a nothing match at the same time, at least in my opinion. Obviously we're starting to see more from Ridge Holland, on NXT right now, so maybe he'll get a push, but I don't really care for a Ridge Holland push, to be honest. And obviously as the stuff with Bubba Ray that kind of happened throughout the night where he's calling him out and things are happening, but we'll get more into that a little bit later into the pay-per-view.
Yeah, this match, like you said, was kind of just very meh. It's definitely forgettable and wasn't all that really. And like you said, definitely surprising that Andre Chase got the loss here. Don't know where he goes from here. Rich Holland, like you said, probably is going to get somewhat of a push. I really hope he doesn't win the belt by any means, because I just don't care about Rich Holland. I don't think he's the best in the ring. But this stuff with Bubba Ray and stuff like that now is going to probably main event next week's NXT show in the ECW arena. So definitely interesting, but don't care for it too much.
Yeah.
Next up, though, we had Fallon Henley defeat Kalani Jordan in a spinner's wheels match, and the stipulation was a gauntlet match, so all of Fatal Influence versus Kalani, and Fallon was the one to pin her. How'd you feel about this match?
Yeah, honestly, it was not a good match at all, if I had to be honest. I was really hyped for Fallon Henley going into this because she did really impress me like the week before, maybe it was 2 weeks before this. I believe it was a 6-woman tag match with Bianca and Jade and Kalani versus Fatal Influence, and Fallon really just kind of impressed me, and I was like, oh wow, she's doing things that I just haven't seen her do before, and she looked like she was doing really good. So I was really kind of hyped for her going into this match. However, the match just didn't work. Obviously, it's a gauntlet match, so it's like it's never gonna really work too well in my opinion. Like we've seen them in the past before with John Cena and a few other people and whatnot, and it just never really works in my opinion, or it always makes somebody look stupid. And in this case, it didn't make no one look stupid, but it just the whole thing was stupid. Like and it makes sense, obviously, for Fallon Henley to choose this match type because it's the easiest one for her to get the win, being that she's the last person. But it was a good match, I guess. But I mean, there was just kind of nothing to it. I didn't like it at all.
I don't think it was that bad, to be honest. I think it's solid. We knew Jasmine Nix wasn't going to win the match, or really JC Jane was really kind of up to Fallon to win this match. I think they played it very well, where each woman just weakened her more and more for Fallon, and then once it came down to the finish, it took pretty much all three of them. So just the classic, heel, kind of using their numbers to their advantage. Another big part was after the match, as we've seen another appearance of Zarya. She makes her face known and kind of goes after Fallon. She clears all of them out, and just looks very strong after the match. And it looks great.
Yeah, pretty good overall. I'm happy that Fallon did get the win here. I just wish maybe it was just like a one-on-one match, because I do think just a one-on-one Fallon Henley Kalani Jordan will be really good, and I do think they will run that match eventually, because it just makes sense for Kalani to get a rematch.
Yeah, for sure. But next up in the main event, we had Trick Williams versus Ethan Page, where Trick did get the win in a Devil's Playground match. How'd you feel about this one?
I mean, it was pretty good, but once again, just something about it just didn't fully hit for me. I like how Ethan Page kind of did his promo before. I didn't like the promo before the NXT before the pay-per-view. It's kind of where he's talking about how he's gonna make him taste his own blood, yada yada. He did make him taste his own blood, something I didn't notice on first watch, but I noticed on the second watch. He did make him bleed from his mouth, so yeah, he got that. He had a cool table spot where he does, I believe he calls it the Ego's Edge. And he was standing on the steps on the outside of the ring, and Ego's edged him onto the table, and it looked really good. There was the pumpkin spot where Trick Williams gets the pumpkin on his head, and he just starts punching it, and I believe he gives it a trick shot at the end as well, where it finally just kind of explodes on his face. But yeah, it was pretty good, but still not the greatest in my opinion.
Yeah, the thing with WWE and like their extreme matches is that they'll never really be too extreme, which I think is something that's very unfortunate because I'm sure these two guys would have loved to do something a bit crazy. We've seen the thumbtack spot, but instead of thumbtacks, obviously they use nuts and bolts, which I always hate when they do that. I always would rather them either don't use it at all or just use thumbtacks. Even though falling on that probably did hurt a little bit.
For sure.
But yeah, this match was alright. Glad Trick won. I think that was kind of obvious at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm just interested to see where they go now because who is next for Trick after obviously next week he has a tag team match with Bubba versus Ethan Page and Rich Holland. Don't know where you go after that, but have to stay tuned and watch.
Yeah, like you said, it could be maybe a Obafemi comes up and gives it a shot. Maybe a Wes Lee, Javon Evans or something. But it's kind of looking like a Rich Holland, unfortunately. But, we'll see. Maybe Shawn Michaels has something cooking that we're unaware of. Some surprise debut. Maybe a Ricky Starks comes up. He did just make an indie debut recently, so maybe that's a sign that his contract's starting to run out or something. He's trying to get back in ring shape. So there's a lot of cool things that can happen. We'll just have to see what Shawn Michaels does.
Yeah, but that will wrap it up for Halloween Havoc results. Thank you guys for watching. If you did make it this far, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will catch you guys in the next video.